Hi everyone, good day. Yeah, welcome back to Awesome Arithmetic Academy. Today we are going to be looking at some examples under mapping and function. As we all know that based on the scheme we wrote the other time, we are done with the topics, but we still want to look at some examples so that we have more understanding about the knowledge, about the topic. Now, the first question here we have said if f of x equals to 3x squared plus 4 and g of x equals to x minus 1, find f of 2, g of 3, and then fg inverse of minus 5. When you look at this question, you are given f of x to be 3x squared plus 4 and g of x to be x minus 1. Now they say we should find f of 2. What does this mean? This means that what I'm using f of x to find the value of to find f of 2. How? Whenever I'm seeing x under f of x, I will put 2 here. And that's all what we are going to do. Now let's find that and see what we are going to have. This will be f of 2. This term will still be there. Then instead of writing this x now, I will now use 2 to replace it, which means I will be having times 2 squared. Because the x is taking square here, plus the 4 that was still here. Now we check this. 3. 2 squared means 2 times 2, which is 4. So I'm having 2 times 2, 4 plus 4. When we are asked that what is 3 times 4, we all know that that should be 12. So I'm having 12 here plus 4. And this will give me what? 12 plus 4 is what? 16. And that's f of 2. F of 2 is 16. That's all for that. Now let's do the second one, g of 3. G of 3. So what does this mean? The same thing you did for f of 2, but you are using g of x now, not f of x. G of 2 means anywhere you are seeing x under g of x, you will replace it with 3 now, g of 3. That means, instead of writing this x now, I will put this value, which is 3 minus 1. What's 3 minus 1? 2. And that's the answer to that. Now the third question we have under it says we should find f g inverse of minus 5. We are working on inverse now. So I hope we've seen this. Now let's find the g inverse. So now we are looking for fg inverse of minus 5. Remember, this is composite mapping. At the same time, what's it called? At the same time, it is having an inverse function as well. So let's firstly deal with the inverse function. This means that let's look for the value of g inverse of x first. After getting it, I will now put the value, which is minus 5 there. Let's see what we are going to have. G inverse of x. Remember that I said is what we want to find now. If I have g of x to be x minus 1, I told you that we should take this one as what? Letter y. So if I have y now, y equals to x minus 1. Now I will now make the x inside as the subject, that is bringing x outside. This will give me x equals to y plus 1. I hope that's correct, right? this one, I will change it to x plus 1. This means that the inverse of x minus 1 is x plus 1 under this function x minus 1, this function g of x. Now we've gotten the inverse of x. So what I'm working with now is f g inverse of x. F g inverse of x means what? F of what is the inverse of x? X plus 1. And now I can now put the value that was given, which is minus 5, to solve my answer by question. That will be f of minus 5 plus 1. So what is minus 5 plus 1? That will be minus 4. So I've gotten that. What's the next step? The next step is to put this value for f of x. Anyone saying x now under f of x, I will put minus 4. So let's do that. So this will give me f of x is 3x squared. That will be 3 brackets minus 4 squared plus 4. Right? So now let's solve this. This will give me 3 minus 4 squared will be minus 4 times minus 4. And that will give me plus 16. So I'm having 3 times 16 here plus 4. So what is 3 times 16? That will be 48. 48 plus 4 will give me 52. And that will be the solution to this particular question. That will be the solution to this question. Now, I hope that is clear enough. So I'll look at it very well. And then if there is anything you are not getting, you can still reach out to us so that we still explain more about it. So this will be the first question. Now let's try and solve the second one. The second question said, what is the domain of h of x equals to 1 plus x over x squared plus x minus 6? You all know that what? When we're talking about domain the other time, this will be this x. So we are looking for this value of x. But check this. You cannot just say x can be any number. The reason is because there will be a condition whereby this fraction will not be defined, right? And that's when the denominator is 0. We know that what undefined expression is when the denominator is 0, which means that what we are going to solve this quadratic expression that is under. If it's a linear expression, you are still going to solve it so that that value will not be there. But in this case, since it is a quadratic expression, we are going to solve for the value of x, and those values will not be included in the domain of this h of x. The reason is because if they are included, our solution will be undefined, and what we are looking for is not an undefined solution. So now h of x equals to 1 plus x over x squared plus x minus 6. Now we say we should solve the denominator. X squared plus x minus 6, we equate it to 0. That's how we solve what? Undefined expression. Now, this is a quadratic expression. The next thing, two values you will multiply to get minus 6. And when you add them, you get plus 1. That should be what? Plus 3 and minus 2, right? Plus times minus will give me minus, 3 times 2 will give me 6. Right? And when I do plus 3 minus 2, I will get 1, which is the coefficient of x here. So now let's put that. That means my bracket, when I create my two brackets now, I will be having x plus 3 and x minus 2 equals to 0. Remember value of x. This means that what? The domain now will be all the domain will be any real number x, that is any value I put as my x here will be my domain, except -3 and 2. These two values will be the one that will be out of our domain. I hope this is clear enough. The third question and the fourth question is still something that is related to this, so I want you guys to try number 3 and 4. Number 3 says you should determine the range. Don't disturb yourself. The way you solve for the domain here is what you are going to do for the what? Range here as well. Just find the value of what? X there. And then that will be the one that will be excluded. Now for this one as well, you have it. You were given P of x, Q of x, and F of x. You were asked to find Fp of 4, just like this. But you are not looking for the inverse here. F inverse of Q of 2. This means you solve Q of 2 first, then find the inverse of F, and then put the value you got for this for the inverse. And then the third one, F of P of Q of -3. You know, in this case, you have two ways. You see that you consider these two first before this, or you consider the last two. Anyhow you do it, you are going to get your solution. And then this will be the end of mapping and function by God's grace. I hope we've done something for ourselves, and then I hope and pray that this will end. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share as well to your lovely ones. Bye.